Everybody, Squash Off Ticket Man here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We got our Squash Off tickets for today. We got a new one in rotation. We have a $100 Frenzy crossword. It seems like this is pretty much the top prize is $100, but we'll figure that one out. And we've got, of course, who will be next? Top prize $100,000. That would be fantastic. Let's get started here. So, hot topic over the weekend: Joe Rogan Netflix special entitled Burn the Boats. I have not seen this yet. YouTube has served me up a whole bunch of videos of people critiquing it, judging by the titles of the videos, not well received, and also a few friends have sent some messages about it, not well received. Half jokingly, when I would half jokingly refer to him as an incel friend. He thought it was great, so I thought it was kind of funny, just the divide that was there. Anyways, some of the things that people have been talking about that, first off, kind of want to dig into this. I'm not a Joe Rogan fan. I'm not an MMA fan. I didn't watch, what was it? Fear Factor. I didn't watch Fear Factor back in the day. So, I'm very familiar with Joe Rogan, but I'm not, like a Joe Rogan, like fanboy sort of thing. What he does is funny, but I do like it. Some of the guests he had on his podcast, and I do think he's actually pretty good for conversation because he's got a good, what's the word I'm looking for? He's got like a good vibe for being curious about things, but not like curious stupid about things. Which, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean about that. Because some people, they ask questions. It's like, okay, I think you need to know more about a lot of stuff, like a lot of basic things, before you can start asking these questions, and the answers are going to do anything for your brain. But anyways, I remember on the show he was talking about being like one of the like 500 like real comedians that are like around right now. And I'm like, that's pretty low when you think about it. But then, when it comes to like professional anything, it's probably not that low. But then I was kind of laughing to myself when I saw some reviews from the special, because it's like, it said he hasn't done a live, like a stand-up comedy thing in like 6 years or something. And just seeing the reviews from him, I'm like, okay, is this the same as like a sports guy that's like, yeah, I can go throw the ball around a little bit, and then they get out there and it's like the game's like way faster and like people like way bigger, and it's like they're not in game shape for it. Like they think they can go out there and just go do the thing, and it's like, oh, this is not what I remember. But anyway, just the idea he's kind of putting himself up there with like the modern, like 500 modern greats, people like the Bill Burr or like Conan O'Brien, or like Carrot Top or something like that. We're just like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if you can just hop back in the ring like that and just start chucking them and think it's gonna turn out okay. But anyway, it's risky doing, like, the idea he went up there and he did like a live stream on Netflix. That is gutsy though. I don't want to say like I've never wanted to do stand up or anything like that. I've told a funny joke once in a while, but the idea of trying to stand up in front of people and like say stuff, especially the idea when like if things aren't going well, and you gotta start just whiffing out there and just start working off some other material. That's what I love about Bill Burr is like when he goes on a rant and starts doing stuff, like, he's hilarious, but also he's telling the truth, and that's what makes it even funnier. But anyway, just the idea of Joe Rogan wanted to just get out there and go out there and do it. Not say he was doing it live, but he did make he made a big point about talking about how he's been working on his set, and he's been moving jokes around, and he's got tight set, and then just kind of hearing some of the reviews from it, and people are like he kind of was like, not say he was caught stealing jokes, but there was a joke about like same-sex relationships and how like it'd be easier, and it's like, well, I guess there's a joke in there somewhere. But at the same time, like, you're asking a lot of your partner, just thinking that just by being there and being able to play video games and like eat Doritos is like, there's like a joke in that. And there's another person that made a comment about, Joe going on this big rant like years ago about people stealing jokes. And apparently, like, he got caught stealing a joke. Oh wait, that was the same-sex joke, actually. Yeah, that was that one. And then they made a comment, one of the reaction videos, they're like, I don't know what's worse thinking about it, the idea that Joe Rogan may have stole a joke, or that two comedians landed on the same joke. Like this, the train of thought that the two of them kind of got on there, thinking that was funny. Then again, I'm pretty sure some crowds would think it's funny. You know, I'm sure there's a joke in there, but I think with the things like that, it really gets down to the delivery of the actual joke, and the actual wording of it, sort of thing. Oh, another thing they were talking about a whole bunch of times was his shirt. His like mustard orange shirt. On my screen, it looked a little bit more orange, but it's kind of gutsy to go do that. But they were digging in on him sweating out there, and it's like you can't get on the guy about sweating doing a show and all those lights and stuff like that. And I imagine Joe Rogan burns pretty hot because he's like a pure carnivore diet. So it's like the amount of internal temperature you need to just to eat and digest meat pretty much only, from what I hear. It's like you're going to be running hot in there. So it doesn't matter what the AC situation's like probably in there. You're going to probably be pretty hot. But yeah, they started making fun about, him sweating, start seeing like sweat lines and stuff like that. I'll admit, like I'm a warm person too, but like it's not too much you can do with that. That being said, you gotta just roll. You gotta roll with it when you know that that's what's gonna be happening under your arms and stuff. You gotta plan ahead. You gotta plan ahead with what you're wearing. You might need to put an extra layer on, which sounds really counterintuitive, but the thing is, you put the extra layer on, and then under your arms you have a gap, and then that gap's what saves you. And then the thing about when you're wearing like a shirt and like a shirt over top of it, this is the trick. I want to point this out. This is the trick. You never sit down, because if you sit down, your back's gonna press against something, and if your back presses against something when you're wearing two shirts and you know that you're gonna be warm, it is game over in the sweat game of life. So do not do that. Do not do that. But anyways, there was that idea of him maybe him stealing jokes. I guess it was boring or being heavily inspired by jokes. But the real thing that I think was a bit, again, I've not seen it. I'm just going off some of the reviews that I saw on YouTube. I was curious. Not curious enough to watch it, but definitely curious enough for, I'm like, just watch a couple of reviews here. Apparently, he was recycling some of his old jokes. Apparently, there was old, I don't know the way to word this properly on the platform here, but the old soul handshake sort of thing. He made a joke about that like years ago, and apparently he brought that one back. And it was one of those jokes where you're like, it's actually not that funny if you're over the age of like 12 or not out of college with like a community college in like certain states or something like that. But the idea where he like wanted to bring that joke back, and he's making such a big deal about people stealing jokes and like how tight his set is and how much he's been working on and stuff, and all of a sudden you're like, you'll bring him back like a joke like that to put in your set. So I started thinking maybe he was floundering up there a little bit. Maybe he started doubting some of the stuff in his set, and he's like, you know what, I gotta pull out the big guns. They made comments about the stool and stuff like that, but he was like, I gotta put the big guns. I gotta do this old joke. Because it's going to get a laugh. It's going to be good. But anyway, stand up has got to be hard. It's got to be like more difficult than trying to take a dump after eating like a whole loaf of banana bread in like an afternoon. It's got to be tough like that. But anyway, I don't think I'll actually end up watching it. But again, I do think it was pretty funny how many people were kind of dogging the Netflix special, and then my one buddy who. I definitely just enjoy hearing him talk sometimes, because I'm just like, what you sound like. And he's like, it's so hilarious. I haven't laughed that hard in a while. I was like, oh man, you cemented yourself in some of the opinions that I have. He's still a good guy though. He's just not self-aware with some of the stuff. And he just think it was funny. Oh, I think we're done on the $100 frenzy here. I think the way this one's set up, because it's like, if we had M, we would have got some words. If we had N, I think we would have got some words. Yeah, there's quite a bit on here that's pretty close. Oh, we got hype. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't see a T. I don't see an N. I don't see a B. And I think that's it. Not too bad. All right, we got a bonus down here for $50. Let's see what's going on down here. We got a book. I'm assuming it's all the three the same. And we got glasses, we're out. And then there's a wallet. And there's $50 over here. Yeah, the prize would have been $50. I think that's what it was. I didn't even check the back of it, but I think that's probably what it was. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, moving on here to Jaws. Who will be next? I think. I think. Trying to think of a way to word it here. I do like stand up comedy. YouTube. That's one thing with YouTube. It's like I remember on like back in the day, like one kid at school had like the Jerky Boys. Um, the Jerky Boys. Oh, 18 has 100 grand under it. Way there the gate. Um, one kid at school had the Jerky Boys tapes, and like he'd be listening to them on the school ground. He'd just be walking around laughing. It's like I didn't really think it was that funny at the time. I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny. He thinks it's funny. The world needs to laugh, but YouTube is amazing for stand-up comedy on long drives. Because music, after a while, like to me, like let's say it gets boring. You only listen to like Rock in the Field World so many times when you're like it's like 4 in the morning, but you can just listen to someone's like 60 minute or like hour and a half set or like a compilation of like comedy sets and stuff like that. Like really late at night, it just pairs really nicely with highway driving. And, like I do enjoy that. So maybe one day I'll put on Joe Rogan's Burn the Boat and listen to it. I don't feel like I'll be missing anything. Other thing too is like again, like, I really like Bill Burr. Like, he's pretty funny, but the idea like I can hear some of his sets, and then like hear the same set that he's done, and it's still good. It's like there's very few movies I can watch over and over again, but he's like one of them. I can listen to his stuff a few times, and it's like it's still funny. And sometimes YouTube as well, because YouTube is smart. It'll serve you up something else that's kind of in the wheelhouse of what they're doing. So, all right, Jaws, we got 45, 16, 8, 20, 13. So yeah, so we got 45, not seeing it. Oh, we got 44 and 43. That would be nice. 16, not seeing it. 8, not seeing it. 20, not seeing it. 13, not seeing it. All right, moving on to the bonus down here. And the last thing that I would say about the Joe Rogan thing, like I can only imagine how hard it is to actually go up on stage and do live comedy. But the idea, like, I still give him like mad respect, mad props, wicked props to actually go up there and do that, because like you don't know unless you actually go and try that. I had some friends who tried that stuff in their early 20s, and they go do like the amateur nights of comedies and stuff like that. It's like they were funny guys, but like they just couldn't get anything going on stage. As far as like actually getting the jokes going, they're good writers too. Like they could write some funny skits and stuff like that, but just like they couldn't get anything going on stage, because it's like what your friends think is funny versus what strangers think are funny. Even though strangers can be primed to laugh, that's going to help you quite a bit. But for Joe to go out there and do what he did, and I'll give him props to that. Not breakdancing or anything like that, but it's still pretty hard. So, anyways, I think that's all we got. We got an umbrella, we got a boat, and we got a chest. I wish there was like 2 fires around this, and there was the boat there, or there was like an island and a fire and then a boat. That would have been good too. I do think it's interesting he called it burn the boat, because I always think that's like a really good thing to do when you really want to do something in life. That's what you have to do, is not give yourself an exit. You go, we're gonna get there. We're gonna burn the boat, and we're gonna make this work. And I guess when he went up on stage, he's like, I'm going to make this work. And then probably that night, he's like, we probably should have kept a boat. Even a small boat. He didn't need a bigger boat. Anyway, that's all we got today. I don't think we got anything on either of these cards, but I'll double check them later. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have an amazing day. Hope you had a great weekend. See you in the next one. Good luck on that.